Let's talk about some testing labs. The most well-known testing entity in the US is UL, and it is quite common for local jurisdictions in their code to say it needs to be UL listed. There's another popular listing in the solar industry called ETL, which is a European testing lab. Not all inspectors allow ETL because many jurisdictions will specify it needs to be UL listed or it needs to be a nationally recognized testing lab. Other inspectors will say, well, look, this European testing lab, ETL, will list ETL listings for being compliant with the UL equivalent standard. And there might be components that are being developed in Europe for high voltage battery banks that you can't find in the United States. And so you say, well, I want to get this product, but my code says this needs to be listed. That's where you need to go to your local jurisdiction and ask, can we use ETL listed parts? I'd say if you're going with the shoot first and ask questions later approach, having at minimum the product be listed by some testing entity is the absolute bare minimum. What's worse is when you use parts that aren't listed. So that happens when you get into kind of 48 volt off-grid residential battery components. And the danger is you go and buy a component and it says it's a 48 volt, 40 amp product. Well, they could be giving you 40 amps as the amperage rating when it's done in a 12 volt mode, not a 48 volt mode. And that's what the listings help do, is it standardizes it. It says, no, this is 40 amps at 48 volts. Something that's not tested is not safe. Something that's not listed for purpose is not safe. Taking a product that's used for in-ground splices might not have the same temperature ratings for outside of conduit splices up on the rooftop. And so just know that if you come up across something that is not UL listed but is ETL listed, that's when you go to your local jurisdiction ahead of the project and make sure that they will allow it to be interconnected to their grid.